to start the timer. Timer started. This is closed. Chat is up. I should be good to go. Uh-oh. There we go. Now I wait. Hello, Gab. Welcome. Look, one impreg piece does not make me an impreg extraordinaire. It doesn't. It was a one-time thing. Just once. I am still so groggy and my brain feels like mushy from napping. Hello, Fusion. Hello, RC. Have you forgotten I'm going to cash an art request on more impreg? I am late, Fusion, because my brain is still mushy from napping. So, what the fuck is going on?
Pinkneck just resubscribed for 21 months. What the fuck is going on? There's a mind control bug CRAWING up my spine.
There's a mind control bug crawling up your spine? It's a little concerning. Fun fact, your brain isn't supposed to be mush. I hope that helps. It doesn't. Although I guess no, it doesn't. This morning I cleared 3 of the bottom urban nightmare fights. I'm so happy for you, Sans. How did it go? Was it cool? Like, you have Chesed, so you're living the best life right now. I love Chesed. He's just a cool guy. Someone knocks at my door? I guess I'll let him in then. It was very cool. Chesed is the coolest motherfucker, isn't he though? I love him so much. It's like that one Redditor who said I would take a shit with Chesed. Like, I get them. I do. So I'm just like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I would also take a shit with Chesed. I got out of my way now, and that's the thanks I get, afraid so. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. That's what I'm saying, Sans. I'm just glad that the subreddit has been taken over by like 2 people who are just posting netsuck all the time, just constantly. So I'm having a great time. Ah yes, this is the image I chose to come back to. Clara, do you know where the factory is? Just the general direction, at least. Oops. I forgot I gagged her. Poor Clara. I removed the gag and apologized to Clara for getting carried away as I chuckle merrily to myself. Sans. That is a real Ruina players don't read moment. Right? I'm glad I'm not the only one. That man carried me through like all of early game. I only had to bell on netsuck about midway through Star of the City. And that was it. Which, you know, fair enough. I know! I got nothing. Most of my time this week has been spent being tired so far. Yeah, same. I was napping, hoping that I would come back with so much energy and be, you know, just ready to go. Like, yeah, woo. And instead I'm like, I could still be asleep though. Clara knows that the factory's a big place, and it seems she doesn't know any specifics, like which street it's on, or if the walls are green or yellow or whatever. Well, we just gotta find it with our guts. Guts and lots of running. There will probably be a guard on watch, which will actually help us because it'll give away their position. That's where Clara comes in. Renja has a cooperative relationship with the priest and therefore the church in general. A devout follower of the church like Clara should be useful as bargaining material, oh my god. Even if it's just a bluff. An underling stuck on guard duty is unlikely to hold much influence. I should be able to at least buy some time with some smooth talking. It's a crude plan, but the voice of reason says I should really plan out more of the details. I ignore that voice and cross through the apartment courtyard when suddenly... I... There... I... Well, you know, that's... Well... Sure, why not? I quickly close my eyes, but it's too late. The intense light scorches my eyes and leaves me unable to move for a moment. Oh, I guess someone's got an even cruder plan than mine. I let out a dry chuckle. Is that the way to the factory? Yes, that's right. Was that? You see that? Everyone really does exceed my expectations. And I mean that in the best way possible. My vision gradually clears up thanks to all the dust particles gathered around the center of town. It looks like the entire town's in the middle of a sandstorm. By the time I realize that the dust cloud must mark the epicenter of the explosion, from the ashes comes the silhouette of an approaching car. It's twice the size of a standard passenger vehicle. Its simple exterior resembles that of a business-class station wagon. As it approaches, its details become more distinct. The most important detail being who's in it. Hey! It's Anya! Why did I walk in and you're dropping a nuke? Yeah, it happens. Someone's house versus atomic bomb. Also, because of that, I learned what sleep inertia is because I don't know how else I felt like I was on 4 hours of sleep after 11. My brain is still mush, apparently. The moment I recognized who's in the driver's seat, I felt the joy so intense. Hello, cat. I don't even have the words to properly describe it. Anya! I wave my hands as hard as I can. It seems like Anya's looking at me. But she won't wave back. Is she mad that I didn't come save her? The station wagon stops in front of me. Sayoko! Pacifica! That's so sweet. Finally! I embrace Pacifica as she stumbles out of the car. Her warmth makes me so happy I cry a little. I'm sorry, Sayoko. No, don't be sorry. You did nothing wrong. It's all my fault. I knew Renja was bad news from the start. She's on the top of my wiretap list, so I even overhear her every time she orders pizza. You never cease to amaze me. I did half of the work, though, just saying. You were friends with her, weren't you? That's why I was a little hesitant to intervene until it was a little too late. It's okay. That doesn't matter anymore. Anyway, where's Yoru? Oh, Yoru, well... She's the one who came up with the brilliant idea to blow up the generator. But how did she know that all security measures are shut off in case of an emergency? Yeah, she can be a real big mystery sometimes. Well, she's not so big now. She's probably small enough to fit in a shoebox. She didn't make it out in time, huh? I guess that's one way to put it. She sacrificed herself so we could escape. Like at the end of an action movie? Well, we were certainly moved by her actions. I guess we have to go pick her up later on then. I cackle. It's hard to breathe with all the dust in the air, but I feel like I've finally found the place I belong. About that. This isn't over yet. We've only just gotten to the main event. How observant of you. When did she get here? I'll wake up soon enough. Oh no. Now that some of the dust is settled, it's not too hard to make out that silhouette. Renja. It seems I've made several mistakes. Renja, this whole incident started because of her. So, to end this incident, we have to face her again. I see how it is. Why is her stuffed critter so ugly? Reminds me of, Isobeyan from Dead Demon. I'd say your first mistake was messing with us. Kill those two and come to me. If you think you can command me, think again. I already took that thing out. If you want me to do something, then ask properly. So you refuse? I'm sorry we couldn't be friends. Oh, is that so? I agree. You will be sorry. Renja lets out a small sigh as she pushes her small fist against a button in the hidden compartment on the armrest of her futuristic wheelchair. Obviously, I can't help but wonder what that button does. It can't be anything good, at least. I'm sorry, what the fuck? That's so cool! Oh no, the girl with disabled legs. Whatever will you do? Sans, no! Her wheelchair starts rattling, then it seemingly deconstructs itself into individual cylinders, spreading out like a metal tree sprouting out of nowhere. That's so cool! Wait, is it like wheelchair mech? Is it wheelchair mech time? Is that what's happening? Because I fucking love that wheelchair transformer. The beams then weave into each other and reconstruct themselves into a sort of lattice structure, lifting Renja up high in her seat. It doesn't take long for that thing to expand to the point that it towers over us. It grows to about 10 times its original size. I can now say with certainty that the button Renja pushed was a transformation button. Yeah! Wow, it transforms. I dig it. Me too, Anya. She's faster than we thought. We couldn't shake her off our tail. Which is why we have to rely on you, Sayako. You have to do something about her. Oh, little Sayako hugging Pacifica. Oh no, she's able now. Since when does a Transformer best resemble 02 from Kirby 64? Since today, Fusion! A silver spider. That's what this weapon looks like. It's silver, it's got many legs surrounding Renja's vantage position seat. I can't read. The only part of the thing that still resembles the original wheelchair. Or else this is the end. I see, so this could be the end, huh? That's not good. I guess I better put in some effort then. I stoop down, pick up some snow by my feet, and make a fist-sized snowball. Such a quick thinker, Sayako. Then I hurl it at Renja's face. Come at me! Are you kidding me? A spider picks up one of its legs that's maybe twice my height and then... Oh no! Clara! Why? It swings the pointed tip down hard, immediately behind me, skewering Clara from the crown of her head straight down through her lower abdomen. Jesus! She looks like an obscene... How do you say that? I don't know. Anyway, I only know that because of Library of Ruina, so make of that what you will. Depicting the way butcher birds impale their prey on thorns. The vivid contrast of the vibrant red blood against the cold, silvery steel has me frozen in my tracks for a second. Get in! Pacifica yanks me by the collar and drags me into the station wagon. I end up biting my tongue a little due to the whiplash of the car suddenly taking off. So that's what we're up against here. Any ideas? Sorry, nothing's jumping out at me. Even if we don't know what we can do, we have to do something. Oh my god! She's so fucking cool! I love Ghostpia. This is so great. Pacifica flings the rear door open, reaches behind the rear seat, and picks up what looks like that old, painless minigun from those action movies. She proceeds to spray bullets at the spider. Honestly, her aim's not bad, but it's a wasted effort. Several shorter legs located closer to Renja move with unbelievable speed and precision to deflect any bullets that threaten their master while ignoring the rest. Oh my god! She's gonna get ya. The town ghost watching this. Anya suddenly swerves to dodge a longer leg that pierces the ground way too close to the car for comfort. I support Pacifica's body when the abrupt turn threatens to knock her off balance. Pacifica curses as she loads the next magazine and fires again. The spider seems to slow down as a whole whenever Pacifica fires at it, so I bet she feels obligated to keep shooting lest the car be turned into a shish kebab. How's she piloting that thing so well? Oh my god! This is so great! I shout as hard as I can so that the gunfire doesn't drown me out. There's no way she's driving manual, not with movements like that. There's gotta be a camera or a sensor or something hooked up to a real-time image processor to detect and neutralize any threats like guns and whatnot. So we're up against a genuine war machine? Like hell is it genuine? Normally you'd expect it to have guns and more armor and stuff on it. Lucky us. Not lucky enough that we have a chance against it though. So you're saying we just have to shoot at it from where the camera can't see us, right? You've got the right idea, and I bet you could make that shot too. There's no way we can gain enough distance from that thing. Maybe if we hid a gun inside a plush toy. That'd make for a funny joke, but I don't think we've got any plush toys here. Sayoko, let's switch places for a second. Okay. Look at it go! This is so cool. I switch places with Pacifica and continue to fire bullets with the machine gun. The rapid clinking of the metal legs as they deflect the bullets nearly drives me insane. We don't have that much ammo left either. Even if we conserve as much ammo as possible, it's only a matter of time before it runs out. Get down! Oh my god. So cool! The whole interior of the car explodes. At least that's what it seems like for a moment when Pacifica launches a rocket at the spider. These sorts of rockets are quite slow, which gives us plenty of time to pray. I think I hear Renja shouting something. The next thing I hear is the impact. Hey, there's a little thing called backblast, you know? I just figured if that thing can deflect bullets, then maybe explosives would do the trick. It's incredibly hard to see thanks to the fumes from the explosion. I can't even see the spider's silhouette. Did it work? My vision starts to spin, and at the same time, my whole body feels intense G-forces. A few seconds later, I realize that one of the legs pierced the station wagon and swung it around. My body gets flung onto the snow. I blank out for just a moment before I realize that now isn't the time, so I get up. The spider's legs had gathered in one place to form a simple, protective wall in front of Renja. It seems several of the legs have been damaged, exposing the joints. But that's all the damage there is. Our nearly suicidal rocket launcher attack had an effect, but it wasn't enough. Well, I guess it figures that this thing would have all sorts of weapon data stored in its database. Anya speaks as she struggles to crawl out from the driver's seat of an overturned car. I must admit you caught me a little off guard, but this is the end. That's so cool. Renja speaks calmly with a sadistic glint in her eyes. I didn't miss the flustered expression she had on her face for a split second, though. Unfortunately, I can't even manage to stand up. The only thing keeping me from being skewered right now is Renja's desire to satiate her sadistic urges. It's like I'm already dead. I mean, I'm always dead, but you get the idea. Is that you, bitch? Or that could be anything. They actually made a 3D model of the wheelchair to help animate this sequence. That's awesome. I call Renja something you definitely can't say on TV. Okay, well, you can say bitch on TV, so... I can clearly see Renja's calm, collected face distort with rage. I can also see the spider lift one of its legs. Machine gun fire nearly ruptures my eardrum. Pacific is unloading every last bullet at Renja, slowing the speed of the leg's movements. The attack barely grazes me as I desperately dodge it. I then borrow a warhead from the box that tumbled out of the car. I was easily able to hit Renja in the face with a snowball earlier despite it being both slower and bigger than a bullet. Which can only mean one thing. Objects thrown by hand don't trigger the spider's defense system. And if that's the case... Yeah, what she said. Hurrah! I love it. I don't really want to say something like, that's the power of friendship, because that'd be so cheesy. So I say it ironically, as a joke. That's the power of friendship! Friendship's the best! Friendship's the worst! I love them so much. Renja looks like she's become part of the wreckage. I guess that's not too far from the truth, since this thing was quite literally an extension of her body. Sayoko, you're making a mistake. There's also the fact that an exposed shaft or something is stabbing into her back. Associating with the lazy will only make you lazy, too. I still think it's our mission to rule. Rather than actually talking to me, it sounds like Renja's trying to convince herself more than anything. The plush toy she's always carrying has fallen to the ground. Contrary to its soft appearances, there's cold, hard mechanical parts jutting out of a tear in the fabric. There is no need to rush anymore, so I slowly pick it up. I see, so this must be the main control unit. Give that back. You seriously think anyone would give it back when you ask like that? I just stare at Renja. We are superior. Unlike you people, we're not fakers appealing to teenage brats who buy cheap knockoffs of brand-name sneakers. That sounded so pathetic I had to close my eyes. Do I feel empathy for this girl? I do, don't I? That stuff is meant to be inhaled or injected by VIPs who possess soldiers who would gladly die for them when given the word. It's a glorious, high-purity, genuine article. Only the genuine can understand the feelings of the genuine. One day you'll understand. I'm the you from the future. Someone's here to pick you up. I don't even have to look to know who it is. The heavy footsteps and heavy breathing due to the heavy injuries make it quite obvious. I had a feeling she'd be coming. Met. Let's go home. Everything will be okay if I do everything I can to treat your injuries. I'm not your master anymore. That doesn't matter to me. What are you talking about? It matters to me. If you're not my slave, you're worthless to me. Your wound certainly is deep, but... I lean in next to Renja and examine her wounds. I take the bug out of my pocket. The poor thing had failed in its mission to take control of me. Renja's eyes open wide. She mouths the word stop. On closer inspection, I find that her wound isn't actually bleeding that much, so I set the bug free inside of it. I figure it's closer to the spine than the arm. The sky's starting to turn white, but I figured we'd have enough time to get home if we started walking now. So we've got plenty of time. Renja, do raise your right hand. Before I even finish speaking, Renja raises her right hand, even though it's caught underneath jagged metal part which leaves a big scratch on the back of her hand. I can hear Miss Met gasp. Fine, go ahead and humiliate me. I don't want to humiliate you. Don't worry, I won't do this again. Let's see. First of all, I command you to don't die. Miss Met speaks up when she catches on to what I'm trying to do. Wait, no, you shouldn't. Next, do cease all sales of both drugs and sweets. And don't send hooligans to our room. Don't cause harm to me or the people close to me. And also, don't work with the church. This isn't what I want. Tell me how you really feel. It is what I want, but I don't think it's a wish worth granting. It's weird, I know. Maybe she's got a point, but I do think it's a wish worth granting. Renja, don't leave Miss Met's side. Miss Met, do protect Renja at all times. In particular, do prevent any situations that might cause the extraction of these bug things from your bodies. Moving on. And furthermore, do continue to live together in peace for good. I drop the plush onto the ground. I do the best I can to make sure nobody can ever touch it again for the rest of eternity. This is probably the limit of what I can do. At the very least, I feel refreshed. Let's go home. I talk to my two friends who've been watching over the whole thing. I want to take a bath. I want to eat meat. Sounds good. Let's do both. Please wait. Miss Met drags Renja out of the scrap and carries her on her large back. It looks like Renja's asleep. That or she fainted from the humiliation. Though her face does seem to be peacefully asleep. Miss Met, you just said that this is weird. I think Miss Met is a good person. According to Renja, she's nothing more than a lazy ghost. But she's still virtuous and pure, which is why I wanted to reward her. Though I'm probably just being self-centered and self-satisfying here. Yes, I did say that, and I still think it, after all. Everyone is a little bit weird. That's what my doctor told me. I didn't know what she was talking about at the time, but now I agree. Miss Sayoko, this is so cute. I love this so much. The doctor's always giving medical exams in the plaza, and that's where I'll be too. I'll see you again someday. I'll be waiting. My two ghost friends and I feel happy as we walk off briskly. Not because we don't have time, but because we want to be home as soon as possible. We leave the other two ghosts behind. I can't help but pray that one of them will be happy for as long as possible. How incredibly sweet! So good. I love that little bit of character growth for Sayoko where she starts out and being like, oh, I don't know if these people are my friends. Can I be friends with them? And now she's just like, yeah, my buddies, my friends, my ghost friends. I love that so much. I love that for her. That's why things keep escalating in this chapter. Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, just not even just narratively, but like as far as the visuals go, just like a whole ass just hit the ground running. I love it. No, Poyo, we have one more chapter. Yep, we have one more to go. Ghostpia, for real, honestly. One summer evening, when the air's hot enough to make you gradually break out in a sweat. It's my first summer in this town. It's got a different sort of heat than the city. But just as I do in the city, I make myself as small as possible as I get down from the single car train and head towards the unmanned turnstiles. She's waiting behind the turnstiles. She's got a small, slender body and a cute face with a small, upturned nose. The slight humidity isn't doing her fluffy hair any favors. But. Oh my god. I should have stayed asleep. But even with that in mind, she's still several times more attractive than other girls her age. She notices me. Her face is in the paperback book, but I notice her eyes twitch a little. However, she still pretends not to have noticed me. I hold my card against the turnstile and pass through them. I do so even though I'm just going to go back inside after seeing her, because she'd get mad at me if I didn't. Actually, she wouldn't get mad, just pouty, with a look of displeasure on her face, and tears in her eyes for some reason, and her mood wouldn't improve until I personally apologize for every little thing I've done wrong. You're late. Once I pass through the turnstile, she looks up from her book. I've been waiting for ages. You really expect me to show up immediately when you call me unannounced? That's what I want to say, but instead I just say what I usually do. I'm sorry. No, you're not. I'm sorry for being inconsiderate and making you wait out in the heat, even though you're tired from practice. I see. Apology accepted. Try harder next time. The two of us pass back through the turnstiles. That's another day's worth of lunch money wasted for a stupid formality. And money's not the only thing I've lost today to feed this girl's stupid desire for control. Listen, I worked very hard at practice today. It's been about half a year since I had to move to this remote rural town due to a parental job transfer. I don't know if it's because of the country climate or my own personality, but my classmates at my new school treat me like an outsider. Oh my god, okay, Jesus. And nobody's tried to be my friend. She's the only one who's even approached me. She was just as alone, and for that simple reason, we began to spend time together. Her parents are also from the city, so she says she's picked up an urban vocabulary and intonation from her parents. But I doubt it was an entirely natural process. She's yearned for the city life, and believed that the city is where she belongs. She acts like she's been unjustly torn away from the city. From what I've heard, she's been to the city no more than 4 times in her life, so I seriously doubt she's really a city girl at heart. Well, justified or not, that's how she acts, so I guess I can't blame the locals for treating her like an outsider. As a result, she had nowhere to belong. That's when I, actual city folk, moved in, and she set her sights on me. She believes that if she can control me, she can control her delusion of the city. By the time I realized that, it was too late. Nearly half a year had passed. Hey, are you listening? We wait for the train at the empty platform as it gradually gets darker. Nearby is an unmanned police box, an old worn-out beauty parlor, and some sort of office. There's also a field, and that's pretty much it. It almost makes you think we're in the middle of a desert or something. Oh yeah. If you're not interested, then just say so. I am interested. Sorry, must have been tough. What a mean teacher. If you want to pretend you were listening, could you brush up on your acting skills? I'm not in my home city anymore. If I don't do things my way, I'll just get swallowed up. I won't come see you anymore. Or I won't come back and see you anymore. I muster up everything I've got to bring out those words. I'm not doing this anymore. But you're my precious friend. I can't believe you'd say something like that. We aren't friends. Friends are equal. You've got a lot of nerve to say that when you don't even have any friends besides me. I have friends back in the city. I talked to them about you, and they all said you were mean. They were worried about me. So I've worked up the courage to put my foot down. That's a lie. I'm as emotionally distant from my city friends as I am physically distant from the city. I was only ever in a friend group with fellow outcasts, so it's not like those relationships were ever going to last anyway. I figure it's a lie I need to tell to show her how finally I'm putting my foot down. I'm not a good liar, but she has no way of finding out the truth. The rest is just a question of how bold I can be. Not an obvious lie, as if you've got any friends. Her voice is as cold as a window pane in the dead of winter. It seems like she's been through my entire bluff. That's all just for show. She's just as weak a girl as I am. So I just mimic her and speak as coldly as I can. Fine. You're free to believe whatever you want. The train's getting closer to the platform, so I can't hear what she mutters under her breath. She takes a step towards me, her face is twisted with rage, but I still kind of think she's cute. Not exactly the best time to space out. By the time I snap back to my senses, I realize there's no more ground underneath my left foot. I've been thrust away. I'm falling helplessly from the platform onto the railroad track below. Oh my god. The sound of the train sliding into the platform grows nearer and nearer. It's a 3-point fall. First my left foot, then my butt, and finally my shoulders. I'm in agonizing pain. The train slides into the platform on the opposite side as my ears pick up the distorted grating sound of its brakes. In any case, I'm alive. That's kind of a relief since I was ready to die. But that relief subsides seconds later when I see the girl who shoved me, and the flames of rage ignite. Hey, were you trying to kill me? Are you out of your mind? Whoopsie. As she looks down at me from the platform, instead of speaking timidly, she yells at me in a low voice I've never heard her use before. Are you trying to say I'm the same as the other shitty kids in this shitty town, in the shitty middle of nowhere? I guess it's easy to shit talk when you're shit too. You think you're hot shit just because you were born in the city? Well, my parents graduated from a proper university unlike yours. University? Why the hell are you talking about university? You're no city girl. You're a shitty bumpkin born in the shitty sticks. This exchange of words is completely pointless. I can't stand staying here. I want to fly away. What city friends? As if. You're obviously lying. There's nothing charming about you at all. What's the point in associating with you? There's no kids who would ever want to be your friend. Not here, not in the city, and not in this entire world. Yes, there are. There definitely are. There definitely are. This may just be a meaningless yelling competition, but now I've put blah blah blah. And now that I've put it to words, I feel like that's exactly what I want to be true. There has to be someone out there in this world who wants to be my friend, and who I would want to be friends with. There has to be. I think about it like that, and I start to tear up for some reason. Maybe it's just a way to cope with reality. But as long as I believe it to be true, I'm sure I can grow stronger in my own way. There must be someone waiting to meet me out there, somewhere far away from this stupid place. And I can't meet them unless I look for them. In the meantime, I'll have to make myself someone worth meeting. I'll come see you someday. That's why I can't rot and die in a place like this. I look up at the pitiful girl with a defiant smile. She runs away in fear, and by the time the police car and ambulance arrive, I've been laughing the entire time. As a result, the doctors have my head inspected too. Well, at least I got a funny memory out of it. You know, I was certain. I was like, oh, is this how Sayoko died? She got run over by a train? Someone who lacks... What's a bumpkin? Yeah, what Blackjack said. I have not, Fusion. The day I looked at her, then saw her.
Se Blackjack XX Cird X1. Object Dart.
There we go. I fixed that. The last chapter, huh? I'm gonna be sad to see it go. Is the last chapter long at least? Never mind, I forgot it's Italian. Waiting for that certain someone. This is so cool, huh? Every time. I've got work again today. I have to earn money. Money is an absolute necessity for any journey. But even without travel expenses, it's hard for ordinary citizens to survive. So I work in order to prevent myself from doing something stupid like dying of starvation as I wait. I work in an office in the corner of a government building that looks like a giant tombstone. But that's so cool! As the noon bell rings, I leave the town hall under the pretense of taking a lunch break. As soon as I'm outside, I find a garbage can, or maybe it's a plant pot, I'm not sure. Either way, there is an envelope attached to it, which I retrieve before heading back to town hall with a nonchalant look on my face. It's just it never stops. It never it never ceases to amaze me. On the way back, I visit a seedy cafe that's definitely not to my taste. I simply chose this place because it's busy. This is where I meet him. He's an acquaintance of mine and a regular at this cafe. We chat, closer than strangers, but not quite friends. His hobby is sketching landscapes, so he often shows me his sketchbook. I pick it up. The paper in the sketchbook is quite high quality considering how all of the nation's resources are currently being funneled into the war effort. I flip through the pages and glance through them. Sometimes I give feedback if any sketches interest me. I return the sketchbook after casually slipping in the envelope I retrieved at noon between its pages. Nobody notices. The cafe's dim and it reeks of alcohol. He pretends not to notice either as he takes the sketchbook back. Apparently, this is how revolutionaries or whatever operate in this country, where political power is overly concentrated. Oh, it's not like I've got any interest at all in revolution. Are you sure you don't want to leave this town? I'm sure you could go anywhere you want. There's no need for you to share your destiny with a town like this. You've got the freedom, don't you? The man speaks. In my opinion, he seems to have way more freedom than I do. I give him a vague smile as I get out of my seat. He's a few years younger than me. He's young and charming, yet he doesn't try to use his power for himself. That said, I was younger than him when I started waiting for that certain someone, wasn't I? And thus, another day comes to a close. I head back home. The salary is a pittance, so I'm earning slowly but surely. The ordinary days continue. Work. Break envelope. Even after I've gotten used to retrieving the envelope, I'm still too nervous to eat my bread. Cafe. Talk with him. He's been looking pale lately. This continues forever. Before I know it, the seasons have changed, but is it a different season in the same year or a different season in a different year now? When I reach out to retrieve the envelope, someone grabs my hand. The secret police. I've never seen them before, but I recognize them immediately. A gunshot. A secret police officer falls. It's him holding the gun. Not the person I'm waiting for, but him. I take his hand. That's so cool! I love this. Jesus Christ. We're in the 1940s, maybe not the 40s, depending on where this country is. We jump onto a train and watch as the townscape fades into the distance. And then a bomb drops onto the town where that certain someone was supposed to come home to. I let out a vague laugh. I'm so fascinated by how all of this comes together. When the image fades out and the credits start rolling, I remember that this was a movie. A buzzer rings and we slowly get up from our seats. My brain still feels numb. That was a straightforward plot, huh? The actors were fairly good, so it was worth a watch. The cinematography was beautiful too, and they chose good filming locations. I think I get what you're trying to say, but it was still boring as a movie. What do you think, Sayoko? Well, I kind of spaced out, so... Wait, where's Yoru? Oh my, she's asleep. That girl. She must have been that bored, and I agree with her. Hey, don't say it that bluntly. It wasn't an interesting movie, was it? I absent-mindedly watched as Pacifica tries to wake up Yoru. There's an old movie theater on the edge of an amusement park on the outskirts of town. That's where we are right now. Inside a dim box lined with dense carpet, drenched in the smell of popcorn. It's the kind of place I just forget about until someone mentions it, but it looks like it still gets some business. It's the last screening of the day, and yet half the seats were full. It's mostly elderly ghosts, but there are a few young ghosts too. There's a group of girls around our age. They cheerfully leave their seats as they share their opinions of the movie. The noisiness would normally disrupt the pleasant aftertaste you feel after watching a movie, but it also reminds me that there are girls like that even among the ghosts in this town. I guess you can find girls like that everywhere. I don't really mind since I wasn't too invested in that movie anyway, but if I were invested in it, I'd want to grab them by the backs of the neck and hurl them out of the theater. I start to think about how I'd catch them all without letting any of them escape, but I stop myself. That's not what we're here for today. Maybe next time. We didn't come here to watch the movie, we came here to see a certain someone. As for why we watched the movie anyway, I guess it was to kill time as we wait for this person's shift to end. In any case, the movie's not the main reason why we're here. We are here to see the movie projectionist. This projectionist is, according to Anya, the most lit engineer in town. Since they're both engineers, it makes sense they'd know each other. Of course, all engineers know each other. That's basic science. I think it's weird for the most lit engineer in town to work as a movie projectionist, but I guess there's not necessarily a correlation between what you're good at and what you do for a living. In any case, Anya suggests that this lit engineer could help us achieve our dearest wish of breaking through the snow desert and searching beyond. And maybe even discover my home country, which may or may not exist. Ever since Yoru arrived, we've been a little distracted with job searching and fighting against the church. But now that things seem to be calming down, we've decided to resume our activities. This time will be it for sure. They'll get it this time. I know it. You could probably say that we're at peace. Astonishingly enough, whenever we walk around town lately, people greet not just Yoru, but me as well. I'm starting to remember the faces and names of more and more ghosts, and can even call a few of them my acquaintances now. That's so great. I'm so happy for her. I could cry. Though obviously, I'm a little more cautious about people suddenly opening up to me, what with the whole Renja thing and all. Oh, speaking of Renja, she was apparently both an influential manufacturer and a broker of one of this town's guilty pleasures, so Pacifica praised me for my accomplishment of cleaning up the town. This whole progression of events has brought me out of my comfort zone for sure, but I'm still glad about how things have turned out. I need to remember to thank Anya properly for setting things up today. That's what I think to myself as we try to deal with Yoru as she cozily mumbles in her sleep. By the time we head into the movie theater lobby, it's deathly quiet. Yeah, this time for sure. I'm sure of it. This is the one. There's not a soul talking, and the carpet even muffles the sound of footsteps. It feels like my ears have been plugged, as if all sounds have been blotted out. It looks like all the other moviegoers are already movie gone. That's so funny. There's nobody in the box office, and the concession stand's lights are off too. We're the only ones in the movie theater. Actually, scratch that. There's probably still people behind the scenes, but it's an odd feeling being alone in a place that's usually bustling with people. Look, theaters with no people, that's the best. That's the best time to be in a theater, is when there's nobody else there. It feels both exciting and dangerous. It gives the place a fresh charm. It's like a school building at night. I take a deep breath and let my imagination run wild. I love that feeling when you go into a movie and the sun's still out, but when you come out, it's completely dark. That's one of the most surreal feelings in the world. I love it. Behind the shut doors to the theater at our backs, they're showing a real movie to their real clients. Whenever we're not around, they do something real that we don't get to see. Our idea of common sense is a sham. The real world happens behind these walls, while we go out about our days blissfully unaware. I feel my nose prick up as shivers rise up my spine. My palm breaks out in a cold sweat. I've been entranced by the charm of the movie theater. Sayako? Anya's voice snaps me back to my senses. We're gonna meet up at the rear entrance. That's where the employees leave from. Oh, okay, let's go. When we leave the lobby, I look over my shoulder one more time. Pacifica asks if I've forgotten anything, but I frantically shake my head. Why did I look back? Do I just like movie theaters? Do I have some sort of special memory at the movie theater? I loved that. That was so cool. Again, that's something so simple. They didn't have to do that, but that door closing transition, that's so good. Empty movie theaters are exciting and dangerous. I'd consider that peaceful, to be honest. I would too. I remember when I went to the movies and saw that happen. Fun times. Those are the best times. I should watch more movies. I hate that I don't watch more movies. Every time I watch a movie, I'm like, man, I love movies. And then a few months pass and then I finally watch another one. Whoops. We wait outside the theater in front of what appears to be the staff entrance. As we wait, the lights shut off on the movie theater signboard, and employees start leaving at intervals. They all look startled when they see us. I mean, I guess it might look out of place for a group of girls to wait by the staff entrance of a movie theater after hours. Each time a new ghost comes out of the door, the three of us look at Anya. And each time, Anya wordlessly shakes her head. Is that the one? Nope. This must have happened at least 10 times. A smallish man appears from behind the door. He's short, thin, and has the same red hair as Anya, but his skin is literally pure white, which only makes his hair seem all the more vivid. He's a delicate young man who looks like he's never won a single-arm wrestling match. None of the other employees has had this much trouble opening the door. He makes it look like it's as heavy and sturdy as the door to a bank vault. I can't help but hope it's not him. I don't know what it is about him, but he seems obnoxious. Damn, Sayako. The three of us look at Anya at the same time. I can't speak for anyone else, but my eyes say something like, "It's not him, is it?" Instead of answering us, Anya calls out to the man with a somewhat surprisingly cheerful voice. Yo, Alec, you're as huge as ever today. Maybe twice as big as yesterday. Oh no. Lol, nice one. I am bigger than you, though. I can hear Pacifica take in a deep breath beside me. When I turn her way, I see her taking a step forward and speak up with a customer service smile plastered onto her face. Nice to meet you. You must be Alec. I'm Pacifica. We've heard about you from Anya, so we came here to meet you. Thank you for sparing us your precious time after work. I brought you some sweets from my friend's store. They're delicious, so try some if you'd like. I can smell a sweet scent coming from the paper bag in Pacifica's hand from all the way over here. So is it sweets or is it sweets, you know? And yet it might as well be poop in that bag the way Alec goes, as he reluctantly picks it up. Huh. Yeah, he's obnoxious. I hope you find them to your liking, Alec. Ha 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 ha. Alec lets out a dry laugh. I can tell his forehead's sweaty despite the frigid temperature. Alec trembles and mumbles as he talks. I got a bad feeling about this. Milady. Milady. Milady Pacifica, I'm shocked you would call... What voice do I even give this dude? Do I give him stereotypical nerd voice? Do I, like, hold my nose or just, I don't know. Milady Pacifica, I'm shocked you would call me my nickname upon our first meeting. You truly are a lady with the accomplishments of 10 and the connections of 100. I'm the kind of guy who's shocked when a stranger calls me a nickname and it doesn't even faze you. That's amazing. Pacifica lets out a groan. Alec is short for Alexi. Is that how you say that? That's his name. I guess I should have made that clear, huh? Awkward silence. Everyone present is uncomfortable. Nice to meet you, Mr. Alexi. You can call me Yaru. And that's Sayoko over there. She's a ninja. Oh, and I'm the doctor at the psychiatry stand. My hobby is doing this and that with Sayoko. What do you like to do, Mr. Alexi? I've heard the rumors, Doc. It's probably obvious to you that my mental state is in shambles. But please don't get on my case. I can't be healed. And as for hobbies, I've got none. I'm just a boring man. He says. Yoru shrieks. I hear you excel at engineering. Isn't that right, Anya? This guy's a genius. I guarantee it. That's a lie. There's tons of randos out there as good as me, but I'm just the closest one within your reach, right, Anya? Whenever I look at this Alexi guy, I get a strange, irritable feeling. Yeah, the way he speaks is obnoxious, but somehow even his looks are the visual equivalent of nails on a chalkboard. Sayoko, this guy seems like he's in serious need of some counseling. I completely agree with you. Yoru deals with a lot of patients like this. They all look older than their age, but act younger than their age. And the dissonance between their appearances and their behavior irritates everyone around them. These people fuss over even the most trivial of mistakes, and even if you do something good for them, they don't appreciate it. In fact, they even find some way to berate you. They can't control their own nature, so the ones that come to Yaru for help are the ones that at least recognize that they can't control themselves. When I see them, it makes me wonder if I'm like that too. I mean, they don't even notice their own accursed disposition. They don't understand themselves. If you're lucky, you might find one who thinks something's weird about themselves, but that's it. In other words, I might be like them and just not know it. That would suck. I wouldn't want others to think of me like that. Even thinking like this makes me feel like I'm putting myself a step above them. Even thinking about thinking like that feels disgusting. I'm just not good with these sorts of people. I haven't even spoken a word to him. Milady. Damn it, it always ends up like this. Everyone's disgusted whenever I talk. I'm just trying to be a nice guy here, but I just don't get it. This sucks. Damn it, let's just get to business already. Say, why don't we go to a cafe to talk instead of talking outside? Nah, I'm good. An otaku like me would disintegrate in a cafe. Otaku, there's another archaic word he's used. It refers to someone who would rather be alone with machines, games, or comics than interact with other people. The term otaku originated in my home country, but it's not a race or a clan or anything, it's an ideology. I suppose you could say that an otaku are people of culture. In that case, fine, let's talk here. I heard you can help us. That's right. Alexi, I'm sure we've talked about this before, but I want your expert advice to help us reach a breakthrough that I can't reach with my skill alone. You'd ask for the help from a smelly otaku like me? I'm flattered. It might be hard to believe, but I do want to help you ladies out, if I can, that is. Oh, thanks, Alec! Now you see, I'm a little preoccupied. Basically, I need to finish my current research project first. Yeah. How long will this research project take? I don't know. Do you have a rough estimate, at least? It'll take a long time, I can tell you that. But I don't want to pretend I know something that I don't. That's why I said I don't know. You can't hurry it up just a teensy bit? You could also multitask. As if we otaku are traditionally single taskers. Is that so? That's news to me. Why are you in such a hurry? We ghosts have an infinite amount of time. If waiting will solve a problem, why not just wait? If you can't wait, you can just ask someone else. I am HO. Excuse me. Don't expect so much from me. Alexei mumbles something under his breath as he locks the staff entrance behind him. Ah. Suddenly, Alexei lets out a voice as if he'd realized something. What's wrong? Oh, it's nothing. Whenever I ask someone a favor, it never turns out pretty. Just say it already! Oh, be gone, evil spirit, be gone! Alexei tinkers with his watch and suddenly a thin blue membrane expands around him, knocking Pacifica back. What's the big idea? Don't spook me like that! You're the one who spooked me! What's with the bubbly thing? It's my portable otaku card, Pog! Oh my god. Serves you right. You won't find this much strength at this small size anywhere else. Yuri whispers, this is starting to get kinda exciting. I nod back. I can certainly see why Anya places so much confidence in Alexei's engineering skills. That's what I think to myself as Yuri secretly gets pumped up. She does have a taste for weird things, after all. Shut it off this instant! No, you'll just get mad at me. How can you tell I'll get mad? Because I'm gross. Females have always thought I'm gross. So I can tell you'll be mad even without having to say anything. You can't just judge total strangers because they're women. That's exactly why they hate you. Pacifica picks up a shovel off the ground and charges at the, what was it called again? The portable otaku card! I want one! Anyway, Pacifica starts hammering away at the barrier with the shovel. Each time she hits it, it lets out an unpleasant, low-frequency sound wave, and eventually, the barrier's outline starts to fade away. Stop, this thing's power output is still unstable! Hey, Alexei. Oh, what? Even if you've made a shitload of bad first impressions with women, this is low, even for you. That's just how hopeless I am. You, of all people, should know that. Hey, no need for the attitude, you know. Are you stupid? Look, I'm an otaku, and whenever an otaku talks to a female, he just wants to die. That's how we're built. I don't know if you can even imagine this, but I feel so sick right now. I'm a woman too, you know. Anyway, you just had an idea of how to speed things up, didn't you? Out with it. You shouldn't keep it to yourself, even if you think you should. Damn it. So, I was thinking you could help me finish my research. My research has hit a deadlock, see? That's why I said it'd take time, but if you helped me, it'll speed things up. I'm almost certain of it. But who would want to help someone like me? Don't beat yourself up like that. Why wouldn't we help you? Anya's unusually talkative, and Mr. Alexei seems to be somewhat open with her. It's a refreshing contrast. Anya's usually the passive one, so she almost seems like a different person. Mr. Alexei turns off his pog and falls silent. He just needs to tell us his thoughts, so why does he need so much time to concentrate? I guess it's unfair of me to think like that since I'm with friends and we outnumber him. If I were in Mr. Alexei's shoes, I'm sure I'd hesitate to speak my thoughts too. He's probably cursing himself for letting out that earlier. Even I'm starting to feel uncomfortable. I hate this. Pacifica? It's not until I say that I realize I'd even opened up my mouth. The words just start flowing out by themselves. We can just let Mr. Alexei think things through and get his answer on a later date, can't we? I see Pacifica as she folds her arms in consideration. I'm sorry, Anya, but can you ask him again tomorrow or some other day? Oh, I don't mind. If Anya's going, then I've got no objections. We chat a bit more for a while until we settle on Anya coming back at the same time tomorrow to hear his answer. I'm not used to this sort of stuff. It particularly pains my heart to make Anya ask for me. Okay, that'll be it for today. Thank you for giving us some of your time after work. And with that, I turn around and take a step back towards town. Hey, wait. Oh, what is it? If you have more to say... Mr. Alexei firmly interrupts the fed-up Pacifica. Not you, the ninja. Can I help you? Are you trying to patronize me? And I turn around, Mr. Alexei takes a step towards me. Sensing the unrest in the air, Anya clicks her tongue. Not at all. When people patronize me like that, it makes me feel all the more ridiculed. I think so too, which is why I'm not trying to look out for you. I'm just cold and want to get home. You're just saying that as an excuse so that your friends will praise you later and you can feel good about yourself, aren't you? That disgusts me. Mr. Alexei's face is fully flushed. He's taking heavy breaths in and out, wheezing hard. Your next line is, I totally get how you feel, isn't it? Yeah, I do get how you feel. I also kind of get why you'd get aggressive about it, too. It's exactly because I get it that I shouldn't say I get it. I get it. So if we flip things around and you're saying that you get how I feel then, right? Please stop. You think you know anything about me? Disgusting. Ugh. Mr. Alexei lets out a weird sort of groan, but he's smiling. Savage AF. I don't know what savage AF means, but Alexei chuckles after he says it. You don't have any friends, do you? Maybe not. Anyone without many friends is a friend in my book. What? That's my personal theory. Fine, I'll show you the goods. Come with me to my lab. Seems like the kind of guy who would say laboratory, you know? This game's writing is pure art. It truly is. This time, Mr. Alexei turns his back to us and trots off. His shoulders shiver, and after a few steps, he stumbles. Ewer gives me a smile and a thumbs up. That guy's a pain. I agree with Pacifica's grumble in the silence of my heart, as Anya helps Mr. Alexei get up and we follow behind him. You know, Damn, she had to rip into him to get the deal. Yeah, I don't know. I can't even begin to predict where this game intends to go. Well, that's the last time we'll see that, huh? If you weren't expecting much from my lab, then... Hurry it up already! Eat pieces. We're standing in front of Mr. Alexei's house. From the outside, it looks less like a lab and more like a bougie villa. Since it's located close to the amusement park, perhaps it was indeed originally meant to be an expensive vacation home. But, fine, never mind. Mr. Lexi almost looks tearful as he holds his hand out to the needlessly huge keyhole. The moment I wonder if he left his door unlocked, I hear an electronic sound followed by a gathunk of a heavy lock turning. Whoa, was that a biometric lock? Nah, you can't use something as easily fakeable as vein recognition. Simple is best, so I just implanted a chip in my hand. It's pretty convenient. I hate that there are actual people who exist who already have chips in their hands to unlock their doors. It doesn't seem like a good idea, right? I've never forgotten my hand at work, and you can't exactly steal a limb without lopping it off. You hear that? Alec is a genius, right? He's treading a fine line, though. They just keep putting doors in. I love doors. More doors. Did you say what? As in what? There are people who already have put chips in their bodies so that they can unlock their doors? Is that what you said, what to? Because that is a real true thing that has happened and people have done, yes. Seems like a terrible idea. It's also what every church told me was the, accepting the Antichrist when I was 10. Yeah. That changes depending on the year, though. You don't, but look it up, Sans. It's real. The door opens, the lights turn on automatically, and a moment later, the air in the room gets pleasantly warm. I guess the heater turned on. We stand in front of the entrance as we look at the interior of the room, which is just as showy as the exterior. Although I guess there's something to be said about just in general, people making smart homes. And I can't be the only one who doesn't want every single thing that they have to need to connect to Wi-Fi and can only function through Bluetooth with an app on your phone. I can't be the only one who hates that shit. It sucks. I wish they'd stop doing it. What's this about accepting the Antichrist? Well, you see, Pink, when you get a chip implanted in your hand to unlock your doors, you've accepted the Antichrist. Putting a chip in my colon so the government can give me IBS at any moment. Those people have never lived in a place with shoddy internet, and it shows. Internet goes out for everyone. Simple as that. This way, sorry about the mess. What mess? This place is so clean and stylish, you'd expect a gentle housewife and boisterous children, that's a good word, I love the word boisterous, children to come out and greet the man of the house. It's such a stark contrast to the image of the homeowner. What a nice house, huh, Sayako? If only our place had this much space. Do you live alone, Mr. Alexei? You two are pretty much the only ghosts who live together. Everyone else lives alone. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't either. What the fuck, bro? I hope their chips explode. Yeah, no, me too. I don't like when people are like, you have Google/Apple Pay and just assume it should be there. Oh, do you have? I have never in my life used Google or Apple Pay, but I do like that I can tap a debit card and it'll just work. That's cool. I like that. It also makes it slightly more difficult for, people to skim your credit card information, which is nice. This is my workshop. The workshop? Oh boy. My workshop. And damn it, I knew it. Why must you do this to me, God? The workshop is what appears to be a remodeled kitchen and dining room. Unlike the rest of the house's beautiful interior, it's the only disorderly area. Mr. Alexei quickly runs to what was most likely a dining table that's been remodeled into a large work desk. Just how much has gone back today? I'm left wondering what he's talking about as he starts screaming at the ceiling. Ah, it's 1 step forward and 3 steps back. Way too much has been disappearing lately. No, don't tell me. Not the bolts, too. It's a jumbled mess now. Oh, he's trying to build a robot. Mr. Alexei laments as he... Don't say it. Oh man, my brain's broken. As he rummages through what appears to be a pile of parts left on the work desk. The module looks okay, but where's the cable? Is that gone too? How could this happen? FML. I can't remember the last time I saw someone use FML. That's... Whoa. That aged me by at least a decade. So, what exactly are you making? Isn't it obvious? How is any of it obvious? Okay, what if I did this? Mr. Alexei strikes a few keys on a nearby computer keyboard. Whoa. A translucent woman's head starts floating midair. The spectacle has so much impact I unconsciously pull out a gun. Just barely managed to stop myself from pulling the trigger. Calm your tits. It's just a hologram, a 3D projection. What is this? Oh, am I the only millennial in here who remembers Disney Channel movies? No, I remember Disney Channel movies. And I do remember Smart House. Wait, it is called Smart House, isn't it? FML, Jesus. I just remembered Can I Has Cheeseburger. I think we should return to the simple times of the internet with Can I Has Cheeseburger. Simpler times. But who is it that plays the AI in Smart House? It's Katie Seagal, right? The voice of Leela and what else did she do? She was in Married with Children, I think. Anyway, I love her. She has the best voice. I've always wanted to have one of those really, like, just unique voices like hers. I'm super jealous of people who have cool voices. She's what I want to show you today. We all fall silent for a moment as if to search through our memories. That head does seem familiar. A girl with a faint smile. She's not fully grown up, but if you stare at her for long, you'll get a glimpse of a mature woman. Something about her seems to hide some inner darkness. Have I seen this ghost somewhere before? I can't say since I don't have many female friends. She's attractive, at the very least. She's pleasant to look at. Oh, the movie! She was in the movie! That's correct. Didn't she fall asleep? Those words permeate into my head the way the sweetness of rock candy permeates into your mouth when you're tired. It's like I've been waiting for it. But on the other hand, I've got a bad feeling about this. Was the girl in the movie his project? Good God. Oh, Sans. In the future comes a lot faster than you think, Sans. Don't you worry, Sans. You're gonna blink and suddenly you're gonna be 32. Don't worry. It's coming for you. Isn't she wonderful? I mean, I guess. But she's only in the movies, right? Indeed, she's nothing more than an image caught on film. She has no substance. Of course. Of course. In other words, she's just an illusion, but what if I could make her real? Wait, so Alec, you're trying to make this chick? No, that's not it at all, Anya. Good, I thought you'd gone way off the deep end for a second. I'm just deploying her into this shitty world. Oh boy. What do you mean by deploy? He means make, but with a fancier word. Not at all. I thought of all the shitty women in this town, at least you'd get me. To make her would be to simply create something in her image that would act like her. But what's the point in that? Yeah, what would be the point in that? What I want is to ascertain each and every one of her functions, hello cat, either abstractly or concretely, and deploy her into this world. Not just in spirit, but in body too. That's what this project of mine entails. And then what? Live with her, obviously. You see it all the time in anime, don't you? Every day she'll wake me up, eat meals with me, and welcome me home. And sometimes we might argue, but I'm sure she'll enrich my life overall. Everyone gaffs. Mr. Alexi. No, let's just call him Alexi. He's lost my respect. I'm thinking she'll be like a maid living under my roof. I've got godly taste, don't I? I've even drawn clothing designs. I'd love to get some females' opinions on them. Long skirts are the best, aren't they? I'll bring up the designs. And with that, Mr. Alexi starts typing away at the keyboard, but Anya frantically stops him. Well, whatever. I'm sure you've all come to understand the loftiness of this project's goals, but I'm sure we all come to understand it was a mistake to come here. Ow, 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 ow! Anya suddenly groans in pain. Pacifica's pinching her butt. I look at Yoru, figuring she'd be enjoying something like that, but instead she's looking at Alexi with a sidelong glance. It seems she didn't hear Anya. Well, in any case, I totally understand how Pacifica's feeling right now, so I won't stop her. So, I'm not sure there's anything we can do to help you out with this project of yours. That's right. Sorry, but I'm no good with technical things. You can take Anya off our hands, so go ahead and use her however you please for the rest of her life. Hey! You don't need any technical literacy. You don't even need any literal literacy. My request for you is simple. You just need to follow my directions. With luck, we should be done in no time, and I can start tackling your request. I'll even do it free of charge if you help me out. That's how valuable your cooperation is to me. This is starting to sound suspicious, but fine. So, what exactly do we need to do? You ladies just need to look carefully and closely at both my work and at her. Strategy meeting! We would like to request some time to think. Approved. At Pacifica's commands, we all gather in a corner of the room. I'm sorry, guys, for like everything. That guy's messed up in the head. What he's doing is incredible. Yeah, he's always like that. Nobody can keep up with him in more ways than one. But his engineering skills are the toppest of the top notch. He can single-handedly do stuff that I couldn't even do if there were 9,999 of me. So you'd do something that gross if there were 9,999 of you, huh? No, I don't think I'd ever do anything that gross no matter how many of me there were. He's certainly an eccentric, huh? JSYK, I can hear you. FML. Say, Alexi, what do you mean when you say you want us to watch you? It's not like you want us to make sure you don't fall asleep at work or anything, right? Well. Alexi's eyes sparkle, the sparkle of a prideful engineer. And it's probably for the same reason as when he went off earlier. We all can't help but to put our guards up. I did. I saw Ava. I saw it. Alexiak wishes he had 1% of this man's riz. I'm not even joking. Turned Down for What is a 10-year-old song. That seems... I would have figured it's older. I knew this dude had incel written all over him. Wait, long skirts? Hear him out? He does have a point there. Long skirts are very cute. Ghost capacity. That's just what I like to call it. But you know what I'm talking about, right? There's a limit to how many things we ghosts can have. Once things go back to the garbage dump, you have to pick them up again. Yeah, of course we know that. The hole in the ghost pocket. Isn't it called the bottomless ghost bag? Is it? While things may disappear, they should last for a while as long as they're placed within your territory and you keep their existence in the back of your mind. Both Pacifica and Anya nod. I nod too, due to peer pressure before realizing, oh yeah, that's right. The writing is just so good, man. With the exception of the bare minimum, my belongings quickly disappear too. Alexei makes it sound like you're guaranteed a certain extent of possessions, but it feels a little different in my experience. I think the reason these things feel more natural to me lately is that now that yours moved in, we share our belongings. Also, now that I've figured out gunshot wounds and other injuries count as belongings, I've actually been finding it pretty convenient sometimes. That is really interesting. I've never paid any special attention to it before either. Never, ever. Not even once. However, Pacifica lets out an agonized groan when Alexei screeches mid-speech. She's too detailed. The sheer volume of information necessary to imitate God's creation of man is far too much for our ghostly bodies, it seems. Alexei casually picks up a part of the scattered heap on the work desk. His eyes seem filled with a deep sadness. No matter how I assemble her parts, no matter how I code her personality presentation program, parts of her disappear if I take my eyes off her for even a second. That's probably random, but whatever disappears, the bolts and the entire skeletal structure disappeared this time. So she's incomplete and I can't show her body to you ladies. FML. Alexei explains in an oddly dramatic tone, and I can feel his calm enthusiasm as he tries to convey the objective truth. We are not normal. We weren't humans that lived. We only call ourselves ghosts for convenience. We don't actually know what we are. If you ignore the fact that we've been excluded from the phenomenon known as death, then it certainly seems natural to call us ghosts. After all, we can't survive in sunlight. Intuitively, it makes sense to think of us as ghosts, or at least ghostly. Her volume exceeds my capacity as a container, so I just need to prepare a new container, perhaps. She can be contained if there are more ghosts to perceive her. But when you mix in the fact that there's a limit to what we can possess, that intuitively starts to falter. Once again, my request is that you ladies watch as I assemble her. I'd prefer if you slept in shifts. That's all you need to do. You wouldn't ask storage to do computations, right? For how long? It probably won't be done in a single day. You'll need to take a few days off from your jobs, that's for sure. Even if we're not ghosts, we're some sort of ghostly creatures. I'm sure the others aren't scared, though. I mean, why be scared of ourselves? We are not here to prosper, we're not here to expand, we're just here to exist. Not so different from people. This won't have any negative effects on our bodies, will it? I'm a little scared. That's why I ask an odd question. I wanted to distract myself with some talking. There may be some negative effects, I will admit. If you're scared, just sleep through the whole thing. Alexei might not know this, but I've had that sort of experience before. I do feel that it's somewhat difficult to acknowledge new things. There's no point in telling him right now. That's not what Sayoka's saying. She's not scared of working with you. She's scared of you. She's looking for a reason to decline. I'm just telling the truth as close as I see it. Even when you're telling the truth, the tone, attitude, and syntax you use to tell it make all the difference, you know. You must have failed your public speaking classes. Just hearing the phrase public speaking classes feels like a punch to the gut. I mean, honestly, though. I'll do it. I don't know if I can do it well, but there's no harm in trying. Oh, you will? I'm in too. You've definitely gone off the deep end this time, Alec, but as a lowly engineer, I'm intrigued. See now, my presentation was flawless. These girls are just softies. I wouldn't pat myself on the back for that presentation if I were you. Anyway, since Anya trusts you, I intend to trust you too, but I don't trust you enough to take time off of work. Pacifica starts talking to Alexi, but it sounds like she's actually directing those words to us. Someone needs to watch for danger outside, the while these girls are preoccupied. You also don't know if the church will try to pull something either. It seems like Pacifica is acting nonchalant to melt away my looming anxiety of being separated from her. Or maybe she isn't and the world doesn't revolve around me. That'd be embarrassing. Thank you. Don't worry about it. We're just dividing the roles. Well, here looks like it's the three of us. I'm not in. Okay, for now we'll have to put out notices that you'll be on break from... You good, game? Oh, it's just... Cute, that's cute. Wait, what did you say? I feel a shock like being struck on the head. You'd think Yor would be the first person to be excited by the sight of this stupid thing. At first, I think Yor's messing with me, but when I look into her eyes, I see she's serious. I said I'm not in. Why not? Because I don't want to do this. I'm utterly confused by Yor's calm rejection. She's usually overexpressive, so when I see her say that without a single change in her facial expression, it instantly throws my mental stability off balance. What's wrong with you, Yoru? Does your stomach hurt? My bowel movements are perfectly regular. I see, good for you. Did the game have its own dramatic pause? Yes, yes it did. I got concerned. I was like, uh-oh, game, you can't crash your visual novel. That'd be weird. Would you prefer us not to ask why? Well, yeah, I guess. And I notice your frown. It makes me feel a little bit of relief. And that's because it lets me know she's not making this decision lightly, and she does at least feel a little guilty. I know it's not healthy to be happy about your feeling guilty, but I need to accept the fact that I'm the mean sort of person who would feel good about something like that. I think it'd be dangerous to set up shop by yourself. True, if you're not going to be around, then I'll take a break off of work. If you're going to take a break, then why not stay here with me? No, I don't want to. Sorry. Yoru makes that face she makes every now and then. No, it's okay. It's your decision, Yoru. I'm not good with these sorts of situations. I really should press her some more. So, what'll it be? Sayako and Anya will stand watch. Yoru and I will pass. According to my calculations, you two should be plenty. It's a deal. And thus, Anya and I end up helping the strange man named Alexi with his challenge. Sayako. Good luck. Thanks. There's a lump of anxiety lodged in my chest. I never pretended to know everything about her, but this still comes as a bit of an unpleasant surprise. 1 minute? Okay, that seems like a good place to stop. Gonna save. There we go. Game saved. I have no idea where any of this is going. Every time. Yep. Yes, I can. One more line. No more lines. The lines are over. Poyo. Well, the whole movie part was just so cool. How many art styles can they pack into this one thing? There's too many art styles, and I have a feeling I'm gonna see even more art styles before this thing is over. Now that we're in the last chapter, I'm feeling sad because it's gonna be over soon, and then I'm gonna have to find something to fill the Ghostpia shaped hole in my heart. And I don't know how I'm gonna do that, quite frankly. Shout outs to Minnie from Super Paper Mario and Hikari from Ava. Amen. Also, fill it by feeding it to Novell. Yep. Just, it's over for him. As soon as we're done, we're gonna read this all as soon as possible. The wait for season 2. Okay. So, when did this one come out? And then I can set my expectations realistically on how long I'll have to wait for the next part. Because we ended up picking up, Mamiya at the perfect time, so we only had to wait like a year and some change for Doomsday Dream. 2015, okay. Chapters 1 and 4 were free. Chapter 5 was exclusive to console release that came out last year. So, we'll be waiting for a while then. Chapter 5 was a stretch goal for the crowdfunding of the console release. Well, it's great that it actually has enough of an audience to make that happen. That's comforting at the very least. I'm just so surprised I'd never heard of this before. It seems like something that should have been on my radar, but I guess not. Anyway, I am going to the crowdfunding got over 600k yen. What's that in American? Wait, okay, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Tell Novel to stick. I'll let him know, Sans. I'll I'll pass that message along. That's crazy to me. To be able to take that, I know that like $4,000 is not a small amount of money, but you look at something like this and just the quality of it. I can't imagine churning something like this out for so little. That's incredible to me. Anyway, I'm gonna end stream. Goodbye.